Gentlemen, let's go over the plan. The first constant is none other than Janus, the legendary Cold War spy master. A KGB senior officer and head of the 6th Column Special Branch at Lubyanka, Janus is a certified genius and expert of counterintelligence. He retired from the KGB in 1988 when he fell out of favor with the Kremlin and defected to the US. Shortly after, the Soviet Union collapsed. Now, it is unclear when Janus stepped down as the constant, but since 2004, he has been a resident of a quiet community in suburban Vermont. Mr. Gray.
Right. So here's the catch. As an elite KGB agent, Janus was trained to withstand interrogation and torture. No amount of pressure will force him to disclose information he doesn't want to. Instead, we will need to search his home for clues. But if Providence learns of our presence, the game is up.
So we frame Janus, make Providence think he was the real shattered plant.
Correct. I will file a false ICA report, claiming to have traced a number of calls from Janus's house to the Institute in Romania. The case will seem clear. Mr. Gray was only a figurehead. Janus was pulling the strings all along. And by eliminating him, we will have neutralized the militia, once and for all.
However, for this subterfuge to work, you'll also need to deal with Janus's security detail. A Providence herald and former Secret Service agent by the name of Nolan Cassidy. Intel describes him as diligent and inquisitive, and we cannot risk that he contradicts our story to his employer.
Seems workable.
I certainly hope so. Everything depends on this next move, 47. You made this our fight. Now let's even the playing field. Whittleton Creek, Vermont. On the surface, a picture-perfect suburban dream. Wide roads, golden maple trees, and verdant lawns. Most residents here are white-collar professionals, ranging from university staff to government employees.
Most, but not all. Janus's unpresuming home is protected by a host of bodyguards, and intel shows that the fragile former constant rarely leaves the property.
Nolan Cassidy, on the other hand, roams the neighborhood streets. A recent arrival, the dutiful Providence Herald is busy making threat assessments and settling in with his security team.
Now remember, this is about more than just revenge. Janus is the key to bring down Providence. So get in there and find us a lead.
Good luck, 47.
Probably heard about Charles Blake III before. He's the chairman of your homeowners association.
Blake? Is he that guy who tried to ban maple syrup lollipops?
That doesn't sound like him. If he did, I'm sure there's a very good reason.
You guys haven't been poking around the frog habitat behind the house, have you? No. Oh, okay, great. It's just that, well, I saw one of those security people from Mr. Janus's house, and I'm pretty sure he was burying something back there, and I just figured since you guys seem to be, working together, you might know about it.
Can't say that I do.
Someone from Janus's security detail buried something in the frog habitat behind Cassidy's house. What could that possibly be? A cigar box with a few cigars and a note inside. Well, this is very interesting. The note indicates that the box was given to Janus by the Constant as per tradition, he writes. 47. This could mean the Constant and Janus meet up on a regular basis. Excellent find. Janus is apparently engaged in a civil lawsuit with another resident of Whittleton Creek. James Batty, the plaintiff, wants Janus to stop his annual landing of a helicopter near the local creek. Batty claims it interrupts the nesting birds and a species of frog that has been declared endangered. Must be a very important trip given his poor health.
You know the exterminator guy who's working on Batty's house?
Same guy, it's Cassidy's, right?
Yeah. So I let him use the green shipping container to store some chemicals. I asked him if it was poisonous, but he assured me that it was only a sleeping agent.
Apparently, there is a fumigator in town. He's working on a house belonging to a James Batty, and has previously been working on Cassidy's house. The fumigator has stored some of his chemicals, a strong sedative, in a container in a vacant lot near the creek. Sounds like this could be useful, 47.
He told me that he doesn't kill the bugs, he only sedates them, so that he can set them free later.
Cares about the lives of insects.
What a weirdo. I thought so too. Yeah. He told me a story about his pet cockroach. Touching story. His parents were poor and couldn't afford to buy him a dog, but he found his cockroach in his room one day. He
Gotta conserve that energy.
A recording of some sort. The note mentions another house. Perhaps Cassidy is using one of the vacant buildings as a base of operations, 47. Cassidy looks to be a gun enthusiast. The room looks like it's outfitted with a lot of security and alarms. Nicely done, 47. This should keep things nice and quiet inside the house. Nolan Cassidy is down. Good work, 47. Janus awaits your attention.
Man, you read me. Over. Someone's been knocked senseless. You got a psychopath. Hey, you alright? We have intel on the suspect?
I'm sorry, I didn't see anything.
Oh, jeez, darling, I'm so hungry.
Okay, continue in church. Have a security free. Get out of our way, okay?
He's been sitting there most of the day. I don't know what he's reading, but it looks like it's the most interesting thing he's ever come across.
The new Cassandra Snow novel. Flavors of Past Shimmers, or something like that. See, my wife's reading it now. I can't get her to do anything around the house.
No, it's not a novel. I think it's a journal, or a diary. He's one of the security people working over at that old Russian guy's house. That's gotta be something from the old man's archives.
Oh.
If that's one of Janus's diaries, it might contain some important information about his past. Our past.
Or maybe something that can help us locate the Constant. Janus's many diaries. He's apparently been the chairman of the Ark Society for years. He stepped down very recently, but is still attached to the society. Well, 47, this is valuable information. Good work, 47. We now know Janus is meeting with the Constant at an event related to the Ark Society. And we have an approximate date as well. I think that's all we're going to get.
We're close to the finish line. It's time to end this.
I think he comes early. Chat or spend more time with them.
That kid's really got her heart set on getting her pilot's license. Oh, yeah. But you know,
Leave your house. so beautiful. I'm really
See if the
impressed
administration
with
would
all
let
the
you
wonderful
guys fast
things
track.
you have here.
Yeah.
I wish my husband would let me have that much art inside the house.
We
But he
just
gets,
completely
well,
rebuilt the fountain.
he doesn't appreciate it the same way I do.
Well, Richard and I have similar interests, so it's really not that hard to
Maybe
get
in
him
a
to go
few
along
weeks.
with my ideas.
We're heading to the Maldives.
Although I
soon.
have
Bit
to
of a
say,
treat.
it's been challenging to find a good place for my old
You should
microfilm
really
viewer.
think about going sometime.
Right now, it's just collecting dust in the attic.
Microfilm? That's an interesting thing to collect.
Well, it's sort of a hobby that never really took off. Besides, I don't have any microfilm to play on the computer. I'm not sure I can find any either.
Well, Janus next door collects all kinds of ancient memorabilia. He might have a roll or tape or whatever it is that sort of thing uses. I'm sure he'd be delighted to lend you something.
That's very good.
Back in the day, Janus was known for his obsessive need to archive and keep memorabilia. If he has any microfilm in his house, it might contain something interesting.
Hey, did you grab the pack of smokes that was thrown over the fence from the old guy's garden?
No, man. I'm trying to stop.
Ah, well. You know, I think someone in there is trying to help the old geezer stop as well.
So, Janus smokes despite being dependent on an oxygen tank and his bodyguard's insistence on hiding his cigarettes. I wonder what might happen if he combined the two.
Throwing his coffin nails over the fence? Seems pointless. There's no reason for him to kick the habit when he's already so close to kicking the bucket. I say, let the old man smoke.
Have you seen that oxygen tank near his bedroom window? When you can't breathe with the help of your own lungs, it's probably not wise to also smoke a cigarette. Splitting and smoking is basically euthanasia.
The first annual gathering of the Ark Society. That rings a bell. If Janus was its founder, perhaps he's still attending these gatherings, 47. This could be valuable information indeed.
Janus. Cold War spy master and the first Providence constant. I wonder how much he remembers. How little he cares.
No.
Good work, 47. All there is left to do now is wait.
Don't mind me.
Clearly, Janus is a meticulous man. This microfilm contains a lot of heavily redacted minutes from what appears to be a yearly event of some sort. Plenty of initials and project code names that don't ring any bells. Janus is mentioned by name throughout, however. This is a very important find, 47.
actions of the first constant catch up with him. Death feels like an easy way out for a man like Janus. Still,
We are close now, gentlemen. Both targets are dead. All mission objectives are completed. 47, once you've left Whittleton Creek, I will notify Providence of our discovery.
in the meantime, we'll go over the clues you found. Once we've located the constant, we'll make our final move.
You make it sound so easy.
Looking good.
The Ark Society. One of Providence's more obscure outfits.
I've heard whispers. A survivalist club for the global elite. Billionaires preparing for a global collapse. And now we know the Constant will attend their next gathering. So where is it?
That's the catch. The report is redacted. No names, no location.
So it's a dead end. I can't track them, not without ICA backup.
Now, I'm no big shot analyst, but it seems to me Janus was the Ark Society's founder, so chances are they'll want to pay their respects in private.
Track the coffin. Worth a shot.
You all right?
It comes back in flashes. Fear, anger, but like it happened to someone else.
Your gift and your curse. What they did to you. Well, I spent a long time feeling guilty about that. Now, I wonder who got the better deal.
Yes, found something.
What are we looking at?
The ass end of nowhere. But this is where Janus's remains were shipped to. Our choice for a final resting place, wouldn't you say?
Not bad. So we stake it out. Await the next gathering. Then we waltz in and kidnap one of the world's most powerful men. Without ICA backup.
Like I said, it's a long shot.
We'll take it.
How did you not see this coming? My God, we came this close. The old man could have buried us all. Our families.
Do you think you feel more betrayed than I do? Get some perspective, please. Janus is dead. Lucas Gray is about to join him.
And a cornered animal is twice as dangerous.
Let's be perfectly clear. We were not exposed. The threat is neutralized. We are back on track.
Even so, from this point on, we expect you to take...
No. There is no way I'm doing that. How can you question my loyalty?
In case treachery is contagious.
Do you really want to do this to me?
Is there a problem, Secretary?
No problem whatsoever, Madam. Here's to loyalty.
My man on the island confirms that the Constant has arrived. We head out at sundown. Here, in case the crew get ideas.
Why are you doing this, Mr. Gray? You had a chance to walk away. Why didn't you?
A year ago, I'm working security for this banker, Cobb, only to find out he's a Providence operative. I'd been running for decades, only to wind up where I started. We've all got barcodes on the back of our heads. Most people just never notice. 47 told me about your parents. How did they die?
Car bomb. Surrey, 1989. Company named Blue Seed didn't care to pay for the mistakes. But I like to think no one's untouchable.
I'm sorry for your loss.
You feel it, don't you? Unlike him, you feel it all. Everything you've done.
It's a dangerous thing. Having a conscience.